kill the lights. I want you to listen. I want you to think. I want everybody quiet. I want you to think about the messages that we just heard, the images we just saw. You see, a lot of people say this to me. They say, Nick, I just listen to the music. It doesn't impact the way I live or think. Oh, really? You see, tonight I want to challenge you and say that what you listen to definitely impacts the way you live and the way you think. And I want to tell you this. I'm not here to come against every artist. In fact, I think these guys and girls in this video, I would say that they are gifted of God. But I think that their message is oftentimes misdirected. And there's more to life than this. I want you to listen to these messages. Katy Perry, she said this. She said, last Friday night we may have drank too many shots. We may have danced on tabletops. We may have kissed, but I forgot. Last Friday night. Let's just have a little moment here, Katy. Katy girl. Katy cat. Katy, that's embarrassing, Katy. Katy, we don't want to be lifting that up as a role model for our young women, Katy. There is no role in that. This last band says this. They say, tonight, let's get some and live while we're young. Now, real quick, ladies, fellas, what do they want some of? Is it Skittles? I want to tell you this. What they want some of, you don't want any of it, okay? You don't want any of it. God's word says this. Since we're surrounded by a great cloud of witnesses, it says, let's throw off everything. Somebody say everything. It says throw off everything that hinders. Say hinders. It says the sin. Say sin. That easily entangles. It says let us run. Somebody say run. It says let us run the race. I want to tell you this tonight. Some of you have been being tripped up by things in this world. Things you've done, things that have been done to you. I'm telling you tonight, you can be set free. Jesus wants to move in your life. But I want you to get this tonight. This is the secret. This is the secret of how you can run. It says this, let us fix our eyes on Jesus. Now, I want somebody to get this tonight. You see, when we leave this place, the world loves to make it look like its things are pretty impressive. Have you been there? You're like, oh man, that boy, that girl, looking good. I need to be at that party. I need to be there. My status is on the line. I need that car. I need that money. I want to tell you this tonight. Jesus is better than money and boys and girls. Trust in fool's gold. You were created for the real thing. You see, tonight, some of you have been putting your trust in different things. You're guilty of lying, cheating, swearing, stealing, sex outside of marriage. You're looking at pornography and having hate and anger and bullying and all kinds of things. I want to tell you tonight, Jesus died on the cross for your sin, and He wants to give you freedom tonight. Does anybody believe that? It says Jesus took on your sin, shame, death, and pain, and He rose from the grave, and He's alive tonight. And the Bible makes it clear. It says when we put our trust in Jesus, He is able, He alone is able to set us free, and we're able to reflect the light and stand in the light of Jesus Christ. I want somebody to pick up what I'm putting down tonight. Listen, you were created to be in the light. You were created to reflect the light, but I want you to get this. You can't reflect light if you aren't in the light. Let me say it again. You can't reflect light unless you're in the light, but when you're in the light and you're living the life that He created you to live, spending time with Him, you're able to reflect to the world and say, hey, South Carolina, do you know Jesus? Does anybody know Jesus? I want you to get this tonight. Jesus came to set Some of you are here tonight and you're living in bondage, you're living with guilt. There's a reason for that guilt. It's because you've done things against the holy God. There's two things tonight I said were my goals. What was the first one?
Reset.
Reset. Say it out loud.
Reset.
Reset means to be restarted. It means to get rid of whatever corrupts. I put some trash bins in the venue tonight. They say reset on them. I put a big old reset flag next to the bins. Next to the cans, there's these pads of paper. I want to ask you to do something tonight. Will you ask yourself, what is it in my life that's standing in the way between me and my relationship with God? Will you stop by these bins tonight and write it down? And will you bring it to Jesus and ask Him to set you free? I want to tell you something tonight. Jesus, He is able, as you write down lying, cheating, as you write down adultery, as you write down pornography, as you write down self-harm, I want to tell you tonight, Jesus is able to set you free tonight. Does anybody believe that? We have people fill out hundreds of these cards every night. Some people say, it's partying for me, Nick. I want to tell you, Jesus can set you free from following the crowd tonight. Some people say, Nick, I've been playing too many video games. I don't spend any time with God. Listen, I don't got anything against video games. I like video games a little bit. But I want to tell you this. Can we maybe play a little less video games and spend a little bit more time with Jesus? Anybody? Maybe you're watching too much TV. Maybe you're looking at pornography, right? I mean, maybe you're like, man, this is the life. No, I'm telling you, you are dying inside. And Jesus wants to give you freedom. Some of you are spending all your time on Facebook and Twitter and MySpace, and I don't even know what you're spending time on. But listen, let's just be honest. Jesus wants to be your friend. Isn't that better than a Facebook friend request? Anybody? Some of you are here tonight and you're doing self-harm. We meet people almost every night at Winter Jam that come up and say, Nick, I've been doing self-harm. A girl gave me this razor blade recently. I want to tell you, if you're doing self-harm, God wants you to know that He loves you. He thinks you're beautiful and precious. He wants to wrap His arms around you tonight. And I want to tell you tonight, if you've been doing self-harm and you came in here tonight with something like this, I want to tell you where these things belong. These things belong in the trash. That's where they belong. They set you free. I said reset number one. What was number two? Reset and recharge. I got my cell phone here. I got my cell phone. I don't want you to miss this. Just found this out. Check it out. If I don't plug in my iPhone, this is going to blow your mind. Don't miss it. If I don't plug in my iPhone, it doesn't work. I'm from North Carolina. I'm just kidding. I'm not, actually. Here's the thing. My iPhone was created to do incredible things. But if I don't plug it in, it can do none of the things that it was made to do. I'm telling you tonight that there's a God who made you to do incredible things. But if you're not plugged into Him, being recharged in His Word, in prayer, by His Spirit, you can do none of the things that God created you to do, my friend. Jesus wants to reset you. He wants to recharge you tonight. Listen, life is to be had. It's to be had in Jesus. And if you're here and you need Jesus, I want you to bow your head with me right now. We're going to pray and talk to a holy God. I want you to pray out loud like this. Say, Dear Jesus, I need you in my life. Forgive me